Hi there. Welcome to our show home. Come on in, take a look around.
Whoa, look at this floor plan.
Yeah, it's an open concept.
And this granite countertop. Magnificent.
Yeah, at Calbridge Homes, we
Is this interior finishing for real?
Well, yeah, it's actually inspired by...
Shh. Just...
Okay, then.
Our salespeople make every effort, but a CalBridge home speaks for itself. Visit one of our 15 show homes in Calgary or Cochrane, or visit calbridgehomes.com.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, Divas. Welcome to the Divas That Care Network. My name is Candace Gesh, and we are so excited to welcome you all back. I've got an extremely great show today. Ladies, one of our past Divas is back on our show, Winnie Loud, and I'm very excited to have her. She's going to be sharing some fantastic things that are happening. I'm not too sure if you've had a chance to listen to a past call of hers, but it's called Kids Wealth Plan, and it was such an amazing show. We had a lot of ladies were passing it on, and we wanted to have her back on because she's got a new program that's going to be taking place, and we wanted to share it with all of you so you would be able to get on board and she could work with you. So, Winnie, welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me back.
Well, it's always my pleasure, and you know, you always have so many amazing tips for all of our divas out there, and you know what they can use with their families. And when you were telling me about this program, I thought we need to get you back on. We need to have you share it with all of our listeners because I think they're really going to love it.
I believe they're going to love it too, especially for all of those that have kids.
Exactly. And, you know, for any of our listeners, that you guys know that I've got 4 of my own divas. So, you know, Winnie has been, I would say, a godsend for myself and my family and the things that we're doing with her. And, you know, that's why I really wanted you guys to get to know her. But for any of you that haven't tuned into one of Winnie's calls yet, Winnie, could you take a few minutes to share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, I'm Winnie, and I hail from Alberta, Canada region. And one of the things that brings me on the call today is just my pure excitement of being able to share the discovery that I came across really in this past year with my own daughter. And that is the cash flow management training that I have been, coaching that I've really been doing since she was age 4, really didn't, I really didn't know for sure. I knew I was instilling some really good habits, but you don't really know how good it's going to be or what it's going to be like until they move out, right? So it's been over a year since my daughter has moved out on her own, and, you know, I was really watching and observing what it was going to be like, you know, for her as it relates to money as she moves out. And you know what? I was like, oh, you know, I don't want to sound really braggy, but it was like one of those moments where it's like, yes, I did a good job here. I didn't screw up in this area. You know, so that was one of yeah. And so with that, I have, you know, during her school years, I've volunteered at her school for coaching, having Money Club for kids, and I coached different age groups for, you know, helping them to, you know, how to think about money and how to manage a part of their money. However, one of the things that I really discovered is that, you know, it's better if the parents actually just coach the kids rather than leave it to the school system in actuality, because in a way I had the ability to step into these classrooms and coach these kids on a weekly basis. I mean, it's not every day, but I think more than anything else, because there's lots of things that happen at home or when you go out shopping with your kids that, you know, we're the ones that have actually the best coaching opportunities to help, you know, redirect a lot of their thinking when it comes to money. So
when you have this great program that you've just started, and let's talk a little bit about that, because I think we need to really dive into it, because our shows are only 20 minutes. Let's just really dive into it and see what we can all learn from Winnie today.
Yes. Okay. So do you want to help me out? I I could talk. I get a little bit lost in terms of should I talk about the story or should I talk about the program now?
Well, honestly, I think for any of you that are, this is probably the second time most of the ladies are going to be listening to. I want to dive right into this program that you're going to be doing. I know that it's a very intense program, and I think we need to all learn about that.
Okay. Well, I have a 4-week beta program that's happening. Right now I'm accepting 30 families. The deadline is going to be October the 15th. And the intention behind it is going to be within over a 4-week period, Tuesday nights online between 7 and 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. And those 4 weeks in a row are designed to get you set up your kids for cash flow management habits every single month. So that's the high level overview of that.
I love that. And Winnie, what type of families are you accepting, and where can they be from?
They can be anywhere. Well, anywhere within North America for sure, but it's by webinar, so it's really not bound. Really, there's no boundaries when it comes to the internet. Really, not in North America that I know of, anyway.
No, and this is great because for some of our listeners that are in the United States, because we do have our listeners in U.S. and Canada, I think that this would be fantastic. It doesn't matter where you're from, and to be a part of a program like this would be fabulous. It is a beta program. So explain to our listeners, Winnie, what a beta program is.
A beta program, I have like a set system in place. I'm still in the process of refining all the details, and the beta is really like it's a great opportunity for parents to, especially if you love giving feedback and you don't mind helping to be a part of like a first part of an initial launch of a program. And so that means it's ideal for both me and for the families participating, because they get they basically get a lot of value for a cheaper price. So it's $50 for 4 weeks, and I tell you, the information is priceless. And yet I'm offering it for $50 for the first beta program ever. So I'm really super excited. And to add to your question, to add to the answer of what kind of families that I'm looking for, it's just families who are parent who is committed to the idea and the implementation of setting up their kids to have solid financial habits, so that when they go out on their own, they're a lot more confident. And, you can prevent your child from moving in at age 40 or borrowing lots of money from you throughout your life. And, I guess the other piece that might be very attractive is for those that really share the same value system as I do around money, which is to really teach your kid that you're not the source of their money. Like, parents are not the source of kids' money. They're really not. And, it's important to really allow them to see that they have choices around money. And the sooner that they can coach themselves through the decision-making process with every single purchase, it just makes them more and more and more and more confident around money.
You know what? And I just want to talk to our listeners right now, because for somebody who's had the opportunity to have Winnie meet my children and talk to her on just once. They met Winnie the one time, and Winnie installed in them that desire just that one time. And now all 4 of my girls are involved in the process. They all have figured out a system that works, and we've used what Winnie has taught them, and they're running with it. It is amazing the conversations that we've had since you came here. And, for anybody that knows my girls, I have a 9-year-old, a 12, 13, and a 15-year-old. And, oh, my goodness, all of them are doing it. And it was just the greatest thing that I think I could have given my children, because now it's like, wow, they get it. They understand. So all the years that I had talked about it, you just coming in and telling them, it's like, oh, I get it now.
Sometimes it does take an outside person a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, it's not the truth.
Mhm. Yeah, and what's nice is that there's going to be infusions. I can't promise. My daughter works on those nights that the webinars are being held. However, she's agreed to, do some preliminary pre-recording for me so that, you can basically hear about her experience right from her mouth. And it's very encouraging for parents to hear, what it could be like, like what it's like for her having been raised on these principles. And it's heartwarming. It's so heartwarming.
Well, and I recommend for any of the listeners today, definitely check this out because it could really change things for you and your family. Even just opening up the conversations, because I know as a parent, it is a difficult thing to talk to your children about money and finances. And I know that growing up, it was not something that we discussed at the dinner table. And even though, I think, maybe we should have, but it was just not something we talked about. But nowadays it's like, okay, I want them to be more money savvy, more money aware, and definitely they're starting on the right path. I'm very excited for that. I want to keep you for being a part of that journey with me and my family. Winnie, this program will be starting pretty soon here. Let's talk about how the listeners today can get a hold of you. They can learn a little bit more and sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not sure how it's going to be posted, but if you want to take a pen out really quick, it's bit.ly. So that's bit.ly/cash smarts. That's with the S on the end of the smart. And the C is capital and the S is capital. So bit.ly/cash smarts. And that's a way that you can reach me or at least take a look at more information in regards to this program.
And I will be posting it all on our social media too for all of our listeners. We do have our newsletter that goes out weekly now, and it will be posted in our newsletter, but it will be actually on our website. So for any of you that did not catch that, it's going to be at divasthatcare.com, and I will have all those links available for you guys. Oh my goodness, Whitney, this is great. Let's share some other stuff with our listeners today. We've got this program going on. Is there, because this is our second show that we've done together, is there some other things that perhaps for any of our new listeners that are just tuning in, is there things that you'd like to share with them today?
Yes, what's coming to mind for me right in this moment is sometimes, as parents, if we feel like we haven't grown up with this information, the internal thought of, I'm not really that great with money. Who am I to teach my kids about this? Like, I don't want to pass off my bad habits or something, And just in case you're thinking that, I didn't understand cash flow when I started coaching my daughter at age 4. And with the system that I'll be sharing in my beta program, when I started practicing and implementing this new system for my own daughter, what I recognized was that it was improving my own understanding and my own relationship to money as a result of it as well. And we can also appreciate, and the momentum builds, like for me anyways, the momentum and the desire to keep making sure this was in habit. It wasn't perfect. Sometimes I missed a month, but I did it as much as and often as I can. And it actually, my own momentum built only because when you start teaching this to your own child, you can actually teach from a place of mistake. And you also really begin to recognize, wow, there is actually so much, your relationship with money is lifelong, but there is actually so much to solid financial foundation. And for me, I was just like, man, I better start getting this into her now because, we all know how fast kids grow up, right? And so, so I would say that, if your relationship with money doesn't feel great, this is the best opportunity ever. And this can only bring you and your kids closer. I will tell you that, I thought as soon as my daughter moved out, I was really concerned about her not getting hold of me or not wanting to talk to me. And she was actually chasing me down because initially when, the first 6 months of moving out and earning a paycheck, right, she was actually, making sure it's like, hey, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. I want to make sure that I'm managing my cash flow properly because there's different things that happen outside of the home, right? Like there's not necessarily pre-authorized payments, right? that you have to, so there's,
exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, it's a wonderful program and just on so many different levels. And I can't even say enough. Like, it's a really in-depth, really rich way of engaging with your child or children.
Oh, Winnie, I love it. And you know what? It's a hard thing, and I'll be honest with you guys. It was hard for me to have Winnie come out here and go through this system because, you think, okay, as a parent, do I want somebody else to know what I was feeling inconfident about? I think that just to let that go and say, you know what? No, I need to have myself because I needed to learn too. And I think that was the greatest thing, Winnie. It wasn't just them that was learning this program. It was myself and the excitement I had. And that from there, I was starting to share with others. And I thought, wow, if I can learn this, my kids can learn this. I'm like, what a great program that others could use too. And it'll help simplify things and help them on their journey for, hopefully financial freedom.
Yeah, great for the short term, midterm, long term. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I hear you. Thank you. And what's wonderful about this is that you get to be a part of a more positive chain of events that can happen for generations to come, like grandchildren you haven't even met yet, hopefully, if they decide to have kids, right? So, yeah.
I love it. And, as I said, listeners, I am going to be posting all about this, and you definitely want to check her out here. Winnie, I know that your time is precious and everything is going on. Is there any last-minute things, anything that you'd love to share with our amazing divas today?
This is, probably just a small, tiny logistic. It's like for any of our American friends down south, this is in Canadian dollars. So just saying, it's really good deal for you guys.
Which is a deal.
Yeah. So I'm accepting 30 families. I'm just excited to be a part of, this journey for the families that are accepted. And, this is a great passion of mine, and I just really know how much it's going to ultimately bring joy. And at the same time, this does, I don't want to dismay anyone. It's not all like roses and joy dance or anything like that, because there are moments where, your patience is required. There's no doubt. There's definitely times when you're explaining the program near the beginning where patience is required. I also know that with the system that I have in place, it's really going to be, I've made it as easy as I can for all of you. So keep that in mind as well.
Awesome, Winnie. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show today and sharing with us what is happening in your life and about this amazing new program. Winnie, we just love having you on here. I hope that you come back on again and share share some more about some of your other programs that I know that you have in the works and the things that you're going to be doing. My goodness, thank you to all of our listeners. We appreciate all of you amazing divas out there, you change makers, the people that are doing so much. Again, you need to check out this program. I know that for myself and my family, we've just started it, and you know what? I really enjoy it, and it's really been an eye-opener and a conversation starter in our family. So, Winnie, I thank you for that and for being our guest today and sharing your fantastic program with all of our listeners.
Well, cheers, Candace, and here's to being cash smart for life.
Awesome. And make sure all of you amazing listeners today check out our website at divasthatcare.com. As I said, this show will be on there. We record all of our shows. We also have a lot of brand new hosts on the Divas That Care Network, and we want you to check them out and listen to all their shows. So until next time, ladies, make sure that you do something kind for somebody else. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanksgiving dinners are all about making memories, but first you have to remember what to shop for. Safeway and Sobeys has everything to make preparing your Thanksgiving feast easy as pumpkin pie. Turkeys and hams, fresh vegetables, mouth-watering desserts. And now until October 7th is Choose Your Reward. Spend $100, get 100 air miles, or a $10 Sobeys gift card. So don't forget the gravy or the buns, and don't forget to choose your reward. Safeway and Sobeys, happy Thanksgiving.